Yeah, okay. So a prevailing theme in Hamlet is activity versus passivity, and we see this theme most drastically in Hamlet and his character foils, Laertes and Fortinbras. These three characters create a sort of spectrum of activity and passivity. On the passive side of the spectrum, we have Hamlet. His overthinking and inactivity leads to his downfall. On the active side of the spectrum, we have Laertes. His rash and impulsive nature leads to his downfall as well. Lastly, in the middle of the spectrum, we have Fortinbras. He's calculative and has a plan before taking any action, which helps lead to his rise. By comparing and contrasting these three characters, it becomes evident that action without thought is no better than passivity without much thought. Now, the external sources I referenced were Arthur Kinney's book, Hamlet, Critical Essays, in which he talks about the motivations of Hamlet, Laertes, and Fortinbras. I also referenced Seth Tomoko's article, Fortinbras as a Foil for Hamlet, and Eleanor Prosser's book on Hamlet and Revenge. And for my activity, we're going to be taking a sort of personality quiz to find out which one of the three characters you're most like. And before the quiz, I want you guys to write down a few things about what you think the characters are like. So on the back, you guys can just turn it around and just write a few things that you know of the characters, of the three characters, Hamlet, Laertes, and Fortinbras.
Notes about what?
Just notes about like the characters, like what you know about them, what you think they're like, and just like things that you know about them from the book.
Oh.
Like from Hamlet, like oh he's inactive and. Alright, you guys done?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now after you took the quiz, do you look at the characters any differently than you did before? Do you see them in a different light, or?
I feel like Laertes, even though he was already impulsive enough in the play, I feel like kind of makes you look at him even more impulsive. Like, if you come to think of it now, he just listened to Claudius and went to attack like Hamlet without even thinking about it. Like, it makes you really see how, like, I guess determined, but how, like, thoughtless like he is.
And so anything else that you guys noticed about any of the other characters, like Fortinbras or Hamlet, or how do you feel that you relate? Do you feel like you relate to them anymore, like than you did before? Now that we put their actions and their characteristics into more modern day scenarios.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to like, because it's harder to connect to a character when like for this it was like Shakespearean time, so it was like so long ago that it's like so much has changed and like situations and like stuff is so different than it was before. So like you putting it this way, it gives us a view from our day of what these characters were like.
So do you think like being active or being passive in today's society has changed compared to? Do you think it's better to be active or better to be passive today than it was back then, or do you think it's just sort of similar?
I think it's similar because for Laertes and Hamlet, both their things go without thought, and their personalities, and that didn't work out so well for them. And like Fortinbras, how it says he's respected of someone like this in these scenarios would be respected in modern day too.
Yeah. And what do you think were key factors, let's say in Hamlet's case, to be passive that may not be as present today? So if we take a look at some of the factors that led him to be not as risk-taking and not as active in what he wanted to do.
I feel like religion was really a big deal. Like, even though there's a lot of people still religious nowadays and they follow the basic things like, don't kill, don't steal, don't lie, a lot of his actions were quite determined by religion. And I think nowadays people don't not necessarily don't follow it as much, but they don't think of it as strictly as they did in that time.
And what about factors that cause the characters to take action that may not be things that motivate people nowadays?
Maybe honor, like family honor, for example, for Laertes, he like thoughtlessly just went to kill another person without like caring about his like actions, only for just to defend the honor of his family. I feel like people now, still care about their family, but it's not so much like honor of the house, like royalty, all that stuff.
And do you think that's any in regards to how like nowadays there's not as much present like royalty and not there's people's social classes are more equal and not as drastic as they were before. Do you think that kind of contributes to that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and